Need surgery right away, but the best doctor is hundreds of miles away in another city. In the future, there's no problem, because the operation will be done by remote control. This videotape was created by the United States Army to show the future of battlefield medicine. When a soldier is down, a medic equipped with a handheld computer enters the soldier into the system.
Colonel, Bravo Company has a soldier down in grid 2-3.
Safe behind combat lines, a surgeon will perform emergency procedures by remote control, taking advantage of the golden hour. That's the first hour often vital to the patient's survival. Sound like science fiction? The Army doesn't think so. That's why they're helping fund the development of telepresence surgery.
It's not just remote manipulation. It's not holding a joystick and operating something that moves 100 yards away.
And it's just like having your eyes right over that patient.
Someday soon, using telepresence technology, a surgeon will be able to sit down and operate on a patient, do a coronary bypass, and never crack open the chest.
This is a crack?
If you have a sensitive stomach, relax. This is not real surgery. To demonstrate how telepresence works, this research team at Northern California's SRI International uses meat from a local butcher, but the system is real enough to fool a doctor.
An untrained surgeon can come and use the system for the very first time. They put an instrument in their hand, they look down, and they carry out a procedure. When they rotate their hand, the instrument rotates. When they extend their hand, the instrument extends. The only difference is they're not actually next to the patient.
Stereoscopic cameras over the patient and polarized glasses over the doctor create a 3D illusion so real, the surgeon thinks he's seeing the tips of his instruments and the patient below him. The illusion is enhanced by a system of force feedback, computer-controlled motors that simulate the resistance of tissue and bone, even the texture of thread.
Force feedback is feeling the touch of your remote manipulator in your own hand.
In order for this to work, signals to and from the patient must be sent at very high speed. The dummy and surgical assistant are only about 10 feet from the remote console, but by using a high-speed phone line, the two could be separated as much as 300 or 400 kilometers.
What we've done is to keep the same surgical instrument that you're used to using in conventional surgery and basically cut it in half.
Today, the team is testing the system with Nanette Bishoprick, a cardiologist trying it for the first time.
It's as if the tissue were really there, and if I looked under this console, I would see it. I can feel it. I can feel the texture of the surface. It's very realistic.
In the future, telepresence will also put the surgeon inside the patient, allowing doctors to operate without making big incisions.
We make small incisions, and we work through small ports like this, these cannulas.
Right now, this is accomplished with a technique called laparoscopy. Surgeons use instruments and a TV camera to see inside.
And the result is kind of like they're working in a mirror.
It's hard to predict how the tips of the instruments are going to move. And because of the difficulties, only a few of the simplest procedures are done this way. And even those take hundreds of hours to perfect.
Does this feel like an open surgical procedure?
Very much.
But in the future, surgeons will sit at telepresence consoles to perform laparoscopic surgery with no additional training and operate on the heart using the tiniest incisions. They'll perform microsurgeries on capillaries by changing the scale of what they see and feel. Even use telepresence to access currently inoperable parts of the brain.
This telepresence of putting the surgeon's hands and eyes inside the patient without ever cracking the chest, that's the real promise, and you'll see that in the next few years.
Telepresence surgery may save lives, even take quality medical care to people who couldn't get it before. But if you ever feel that your doctor seems a little bit distant now, you ain't seen nothing yet. Before it wins FDA approval, telepresence surgery is being tested first to save animal lives. Now from telepresence, we go to telephones of the future and